Dynamic strength test that I chose to cover is the 1 rep max bench test provided by the ACSM. To calculate your client's relative strength, and in order to figure that out, you divide their 1 rep max value by their body mass, and that will give you the total that you'll use to compare on this chart. It's categorized into male and female and age groups. To perform this test, you're going to allow your client to warm up with 40 to 60% of their estimated 1 rep max. They're going to take a 1-minute rest in between and stretch. While doing so, they would be stretching their chest, their biceps, triceps, rear delts, and then they would choose a weight that's 60 to 80% of their 1 rep max and do 3 to 5 reps at that weight. And then from there, you're going to increase gradually, slowly, until your client reaches their 1 rep max, and it's usually done in between 3 to 5 attempts. You record their last successful attempt, so if they fail their 4th try, you would record their 3rd try. Earlier, you would take that value and divide it by their body mass and compare it onto the coexisting chart to find out what percentile they fall into for their gender and age. Skills needed for this is weights and a bench press, and this is the one I will be using for my trial. I will be testing my husband coming up in the next couple days. The disadvantage of this test is if you're in a group setting, it's time consuming. It can take about 15 minutes per person to complete the test. It also only measures accurately your range of motion through your weakest point in the lift. It does have an injury risk because you're telling your clients to exert their max force to find that 1 rep max. So if they break form, there is a risk of injury, but that's why you're there to spot them. Advantages are it takes more muscles recruited to do an exercise with free weights, such as the barbell. So it's going to make your client work harder and test their balance as well. Also, with things with free weights, you don't have to worry about someone's size, their body weight, their height. It'll all fit. It can be adjusted to accommodate anybody, whereas machines may or may not fit certain individuals. And it also allows full range of motion to be used, whereas machines, you're only allowed a certain range for a certain movement. The disadvantages, I did find one interesting point that if you're testing an individual that has little exercise experience, they may not have any idea what their 1 rep max is. So with them, performing an endurance test first would be the better option. And from that endurance test, there is a formula able to calculate an estimate of what their 1 rep max would be, so you could then estimate their relative strength from that as well. Show you the final product in a couple days.